Welcome to Smart Cherry's Thoughts. This is Sai from India. Firstly, thank you very much for coming to my show.
No, thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure.
So, I thought to tell about the work that you're doing to my audience.
Okay, perfect. What do you want to know? How do you want to start? Let me know.
Before that, can you please introduce yourself to my audience?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Bruno Capuano. I live in Canada, but not Canadian, not with the accent. Born and raised in Argentina, moved to Spain in the early 2000s and moved to Canada on 5 or 6 years ago. I can't remember. And I work in Microsoft now as a cloud advocate. So my main role is to help communities, user groups, students, startups to do their best using Microsoft products, but also if they want to do something different, if they want to help some specific group to do something, we are a team to try to make this stuff happen. So it's kind of a nice job between technical activities and community activities.
So, how is this? And from how many years you're working on this?
So I joined Microsoft a year and a half ago, or a couple of months maybe. Before joining Microsoft, I was working in tech, worked 16 years in the same company, doing mostly consulting, working in the innovation team. And I always be related and always do community stuff. As I said, before joining Microsoft, I was a Microsoft MVP for 14 years in a row. The MVP is a specific award. It's not an award, it's a recognition that Microsoft gives to people who are based on your contributions, your activities in the community, and how you use the products and these kind of things. So I got this award in different categories. I started as a programmer in C Sharp. Then a couple of years later, they switched me to a category kind of ALM, what is basically known today as DevOps. Then they moved me to, I can't remember, Windows development. The last 5 years before joining Microsoft, I was in the AI world. And it was mostly because I like to work with communities. I like to help communities. I like to go to a meetup and try to see how we can do amazing stuff together, help people to know each other, help people to let's learn all together. Let's set up kind of activities to prepare all together for a certification or host us an amazing event. So I've been doing this for a long time, even before moving to Canada. And a year and a half ago, it became my full-time job. This is what I am doing in Microsoft right now.
So, how is working with computers and also people?
That's hard. That's very hard. No, jokes aside, uh, you probably seen these days there are a lot of layoff in the big tech companies. There is this huge AI hype around that everything is going to be replaced by AI and these kind of tendencies. I don't agree with that. I really believe that the tools that we have right now are like the tools that we have 10 years ago, 20 years ago. They're becoming better and they help us to become more productive. That said, the way that we use those tools and we interact with those tools is what we need to change. So what I've seen right now, an example in communities, and we are going to host an event later today here in Toronto with an amazing group of AI experts. And literally what we most talk about is what we can do working in this space, in the tech space, to help people move forward, to help people reinvent themselves, to also to validate that the technology that we are using is good. We are not using a biased technology. We are not using models that are not good enough and these kind of things. So it's hard because, and again, it's hard. I am quoting hard because I'm a very technical person. I love technology. I love programming. I get lost when I am coding. I have a lot of fun. But at the same time, in the last couple of years, or not couple, maybe 5 or 6 years, I spent a lot of time, really a lot of time, teaching myself, learning about people, how we work with people, how people are reacting, how people all over the world. Because, as I said, I was born in Latin America, live in Europe, now in North America, you live in Asia. So, hey, we also work in a global. I am talking with you right now, and we are 10,000 kilometers away or something. We need to be really aware that knowing people, cultures, everything is important, and we need to figure out how to get the best with this using technology. So that's the hard part. Technology, I mean, we will figure out. That's the easy part. Working with people, it's hard, but not hard in the sense that people are hard. It's hard because there are a lot of stuff there that I think we are starting to really get the sense of how we can get the best for everyone. And it's a super long and tricky topic, and I am not an expert. There are people who really know much more than myself. I'm just trying to figure out how can I add my 2 cents here and there to make everything a little better. Does this make sense?
Yeah. And how is working in Microsoft for 1+ year?
It's great. I mean, I don't have complaints. As I say, the last couple of months are kind of hard because of the global layouts and everything else. But I am part of a global team. I work at the Reactor group, and the Reactor is a place. It's a network of physical spaces that we have all around the globe. We have 12 right now to host communities, to host people. So as I said, early today, I'm going to go to our space in the office to basically have some coffee and pizza with a set of amazing people to see what we can do together. But at the same time, when I joined Microsoft to support the Toronto community, but because we are in a global team and, hey, hablo español, I speak Spanish, we started to figure out, okay, maybe we can do something virtually to support Latin America. And oh my God, we are doing so many amazing stuff, mostly virtual, to support my friends and colleagues from Mexico, Colombia, Argentina, all of the people in Latin America. So I really appreciate this because sometimes when we think about Microsoft, a 50 years old company or something like this, a super big company, super hard to change. Changes are slow there. Everything is moving with a lot of red tape. No, it's not. I mean, there are some places who probably are like this, but the group that I'm working, the next generation developers, our generation experience, I'm sorry, are amazing. They are super open to try new stuff, super open to say, okay, we tried this, didn't work, move in a different direction. So I'm happy. It's a big company, but lucky me, I still have this feeling that we are kind of it's not a startup, but a small company where we know each other. There are a lot of people there, and we can collaborate and get the best of, and learn a lot with them, which I think it's really, really nice.
And I can see you have been in technology for a long time, and you have worked in different places and different domains. So how is this experience learning from different things? And do you have any particular thing that you never shared with anyone that is amazing that happened in your career, technology career?
Hey, that's a great question, by the way. That's an amazing question. If 15 years ago, as I said, I started as a programmer. I also get late to the computer world. I'm not that type of person that started when they were a kid using a Commodore 64 or Sinclair. I used my first computer in my 20s. So super late. For today's people, super late. If 20 years ago, I'm in my 40s, if 20 years ago, when I started to get into the computers and program, you ask me where I am going to be today, I will probably say that I really, really hope that in the future, I am working in an amazing engineer team, creating great products because I like to code. I like to work as an engineer. somehow I started to program. I did a lot of coding at the beginning. Then I moved to do some kind of management of team. It wasn't my my stuff. I didn't like it. I wasn't also very good at there. Then I moved to do some software architecture, whatever I was calling. It's nice, fun. Then I started to work at innovation, which is basically, okay, we have problems, how we solve these problems using technology. And I basically learned that I really don't know what is going to happen tomorrow for myself. I still code. I still code a lot. I try to learn new languages every couple of years. So as I started doing a lot of Visual Basic, whatever, in the 2000s, moved to C Sharp, did also a lot of stuff in C++. Then when I moved to the machine learning world, I started to learn Python. Last year, I started to learn and do stuff in Rust. I keep learning stuff. And basically what I learned in the last 20 years is that I need to be very flexible. I need to have a very grown mindset to, if I know something and maybe that's not going to be true tomorrow, I need to learn something on top of that. I need to replace my A with this B's or C's or these kind of things. So I don't know. An example, I joined Microsoft not even looking to join Microsoft. It was COVID days. It was kind of weird, but I was super happy in my previous job. And somehow, because we are isolated, I started to have this kind of conversation with a lot of people. Somewhere there, a Microsoft door was open, and started to talk there, applied for a position, didn't get the one, then wait, still meeting people, apply for the current one, and get that one. My main stuff from the last years working like this is, hey, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Have an open mindset. Learn. I will probably go back to myself in my 20s and say, hey, Bruno, you need to be much more flexible today to learn more stuff. And that's what's basically bring me today to here. And not knowing, I know what is going to happen tomorrow. Probably not what, I don't know what is going to happen next week, but have a smile and move forward with this, because everything is changing so fast that you can't keep up with this. And you need to basically move with the flow, but you need to try to also move with the flow to grow in a specific direction. Choose your battles. I'm sorry, it didn't have a very clear message there, but it's hard to answer that question.
Awesome. And you started as a programmer, and you entered into software architecture, understanding how the design of the software is there and all. And next, you worked in different countries, which has different languages, and now you came to a position where you have communicated with the computers. Now you're communicating with human beings. Eventually, all this is because to help somebody in solving their problem. So, how you look at this? How do you think that you are serving to the society using this technology medium?
That's a great question. So yes, working all around Europe, I was super lucky. I traveled a lot, long time ago, and meet a lot of amazing people, meet a lot of amazing cultures, realize how different is the lifestyles between, I don't know, Italy and Norway, in example, back in Europe, even here in Canada, it's everything is super different. But I like to solve problems. That's what I think at the end of the day is mostly my job. And you have some experience, you have a set of skills. So you have a problem and you need to solve a problem. And the problem can be a technical problem. How do we build something? How we do scale something? How do we use the cloud to do something even better? Or a people's problem. Right now, in example, we decided to start to do activities, not technical activities, to support communities, to support these kind of things. And as I said, and you just mentioned, I basically bring to the table my skills, which are not a good set of skills, but this is what I have. And I started to mention to my boss and my colleagues that, you know what, in Latin America, or maybe in places where English is not your first language, getting a job in tech, when you have an interview in English or you need to do something in not your first language, it's a challenge. And I have a lot of friends, and even my English level is not good very good enough. I think it's good enough to eat, and that's it. But with that in mind, we started the program. This is a 6-month program. We started this on January. Yes, so we are on month 2, where we are hosting sessions with a very small cohort of people from Latin America, helping them to improve their English. And how do we do this? We host a 1-hour session where the first 20-25 minutes we talk about the technical topic in English. And then the second part of the meeting, we basically we try to talk with the audience and help them. Okay, let's talk about this topic, but in English. So we do a mix between Spanish and English, helping all each other to help them to improve their level. So again, if you ask me if I am going to do these kind of things a couple of years ago, I would say, no, I am working with cloud, with Azure, with this kind of machine learning. There is nothing for me there. But I see the value today. I see the value of helping people. I am super lucky. And again, sorry for repeating myself, I am super lucky to be a part of a company who allows me to do these kind of things. They believe there is value there. They believe there is value of spending my work hours helping people from all around of Latin America. We have somebody from Ecuador, Mexico, Colombia. I can't remember. We have different people from a lot of places, helping them to improve their English level. So if they want to apply for a job in America, Europe, Asia, Africa, or whatever, and they need to do this English, hey, we try to help them. We try to move forward. And also because in tech, English is kind of the common language, there is an extra value there for them. So, hey, that's my 2 cents today. That's one of the activities that we are doing today to help people. Besides doing amazing AI stuff, open AI stuff, and all of this stuff. It's nice. I really like and I really enjoy these kind of things. And again, my skills, I can speak Spanish and English. So, hey, let's try to help people who are also maybe want to go in these directions.
And what problems you're solving now?
So we have a couple of one. Besides, let's move to the technical part. So besides those activities that we're doing with communities, try to work, try to support a lot of D&I, diversity and inclusion groups to do more. Right now, we are, and this is kind of personal and part of a group, we are trying to help people to understand how this large language model, like ChatGPT, everybody's talking about ChatGPT, everybody's super excited about ChatGPT, and everybody's complaining about ChatGPT. And part of our job is to try to help people understand how these models works. How important is the data that we use to train those models? How the second step that OpenAI is doing to fine-tune this model that is basically led by humans, and then they are open. Hey, I'm spending a decent amount of time right now not teaching, but explaining people how this new big model works and what we can and can't do with this model. So it's amazing. It seems that everything is going to be solved, that ChatGPT is going to do crazy stuff. I see at least 10, 20, 100 TikTok videos or YouTube videos a day of people starting claiming that, let me show you how to use ChatGPT to get your startup and get your first $1 million. That's not like this. It's not working like this. So, hey, I am working trying to explain how we use these technologies, how we use this set of APIs in the Power Platform example. If you are not a programmer and you work in the low code, we are hosting sessions to help people to say, hey, you want to add value to your applications? You can invoke these OpenAI APIs and add value to your application. We can also, I just published last week a couple of blog posts of how you can use OpenAI APIs from Rust. I see that there are samples in Python, samples in JavaScript, and a couple of other languages, no Rust. So add my 2 cents. This is how you write. This is how you invoke these APIs if you are writing code in Rust. So I'm trying to balance my human community activities with the technical ones. And today, and I think 2023 is going to be mostly like this, I am not going to do a lot of AI development. I am not going to create my AI models that I used to do, machine learning models, that I used to do in the past. I think I am going to spend a decent amount of time explaining or trying to teach or trying to help people to use these APIs that we have in OpenAI, an example of API that we have in Azure OpenAI services to build their applications. And mostly from the side that, hey, no, this is not magic. There is some technical ABCs in the back. Let's try to understand what's happening so we get the best of the tools. So technical today and 2023, I'm sure it's going to be all around OpenAI, large language models, transformers. And there are going to be a super cool set of announcements in the future. I really don't know them, but I'm hoping good stuff. So everything is going to kind of change. And hey, I try to help people to understand why we use these tools and what's happening in the back.
So you saw the evolution of the technology. You saw how changes happened in the technology in your career. Uh, and you came to a position where, or you came to a time where chat GPT is solving problems of human beings. So, so how humans are thinking in order to solve problems, and do you think that humans are going to create things which matches exactly with the human psychology, the machines?
That's a great question. So I will answer it with the technical part. Remember, I'm a technical person. So last year, GitHub released Copilot. And I remember when Copilot was released, and by the way, if someone in the audience doesn't know what is Copilot, Copilot is an assistant that you can install in several programming environments. So I use Visual Studio Code in example. So it's an assistant running Visual Studio Code that is basically reading my code, reading my comments, and make suggestions about my code. So if I said, oh, I need this, I don't know, I have this collection here, and I want to sort this collection by date, Copilot is going to understand that I am working here, I have this collection, and I want to sort it by date, and because Copilot supports different programming language, it's going to suggest me some code to do that. And it's great. It works amazing. I'm still really, really crazy about the stuff that we can do with Copilot. But last year, when Copilot was released, there was a huge buzz around that we are not going to need programmers anymore. For one side, because Copilot is going to do all the code. And in the other side, there was a lot of group of people complaining that Copilot is not smart because Copilot is suggesting crappy code. So you have kind of both sides, people saying that we don't need programmers, Copilot is going to do everything, and you have people, Copilot is generating and suggesting crappy and very bad code. And the interesting thing here is that they were both right. Both sides were right. Copilot is generating a lot of code. So we programmers, we don't need to type this code anymore. And in the other side, we need to be aware that Copilot sometimes generates very bad code. Sometimes the output from Copilot suggestions, oh my God, they are not good at all. But in the middle of these two, there is a human. There is a programmer, there is myself, who needs to really understand the code suggestion from Copilot and decide if you want to use it or not. And that's not easy because that's basically, if you've been programming a lot of time, you need to basically change the way that your mind works. Remember that we talk about how you need to have an open mind, how you need to change every time from time to need to be more adaptable. So today, working with Copilot is much more, you become a more productive developer, more productive programmer. But at the same time, you probably need to change your flow. You probably need to change the way that you were used to work because you are reading suggestions, you are evaluating the suggestion. You say, okay, this is fine, or this is not fine, or okay, I like this, but I'm going to tweak this here and there. Or hey, I'm going to shut down Copilot for forever, or I'm going to turn on Copilot again. So we need to change. We need to figure out how to change. I don't know if we are going to have a Copilot in the future that is going to write everything for us. I see a lot of AI products today that they are claiming that they are going to do everything. I'm in a specific domain that they may solve a problem. I don't think that they are going to replace everything. What we need to do, what we need to learn to do is basically learn to use these tools. Where right now we have Copilot for search. We have Bing Chat. Basically, if you search something and you go to the chat, It's going to give you natural language responses to your questions. And you are going to have some link where this information came. So if you want to know more, you need to click here and there. That said, last week was crazy about what Bing Chat was doing with the super crazy scenarios. We tweaked the model to become better and better. So there are new tools here. We need to work with these tools and not going to replace the human, that's for sure. What we are going to have is new opportunities, new jobs, and new careers to work with these tools. And that's to finish, the last example, there is a new job there that didn't even exist 2 months ago, which is the prompt engineer, which is basically a role, an engineer who is learning and becoming smart and smart and smart to know how to create a prompt, to know how to create a question, to be fed into this large language model. So if you want to get the best of an image generator like DALL-E or Midjourney or Stable Diffusion, something like this, there is a specific role right now in the industry that specialize on, because you pay for service, every time that you ask for an image, you need to pay 20 cents or something like this. So if you spend a couple of hundred requests to get the perfect image, you are going to spend a couple of hundred times 20 cents. Hey, that's money. So there is a specific role, which is the prompt engineer, who is the expert on get the best prompt in the short amount of time. It's a little more complicated, but that's an easy way to explain this. That job didn't even exist on November. We are on February, and there are requests for, maybe they existed in November, but on July, last year, I'm sure this wasn't even there. But we have this request today. So we are not going to replace human. We are not going to do this. We are going to change jobs. We are going to see new jobs. And we are going to see a lot of super useful tools, super crazy tools that's going to sound like, oh my God, this is science fiction. New jobs. I am looking forward to see what are we going to do next. I'm looking for, let's schedule a chat for next year, same time, same day. And let's see, oh my God, what's happened? You remember when we talked about this? It's going to be kind of a nice one.
And Microsoft cloud data centers are interconnected and communicating and connecting countries today. And you are in technology from long time, and this happened now. And it took certain amount of time for technology to connect the countries, different countries and different human beings in different parts of the world. So how much time it takes Microsoft to put their data center in the space so that we can communicate with the aliens?
That's a good question. I mean, it seems that we're going to have the aliens coming to us first because we see all of these UFOs or whatever. Right now, I don't know. There are data centers everywhere. We literally have, probably seen the news, we literally have these data centers that go into the deep of the ocean because take advantage of the temperatures there and these kind of things. So I don't know. We have a service on the cloud, which is Azure Spatial, whatever, is to emulate a network of satellites, communication, something like this. I don't know. I need to go to the Azure specialist to say to the, hey, team, do we have any alien service, Azure Alien Service? I like the name, by the way. It's AAS. We may have something in the future. Not today. I really don't know. But with everything that's happening, I am not going to be surprised if we announce something, the alien, whatever, in the future, because we live in crazy days. But let's see what's happened on Build in a couple of months. When we do big announcements, we may have something there.
And how Microsoft is reaching everywhere and connecting everywhere and solving problems of people who are into different industries?
That's a great question. So the mission that we have at Microsoft is to empower every person and every organization in the world to do their best. And that seems to be simple because it's just a sentence, but it's super complicated. Super complicated. It's not the same how, I don't know, financial services work in Latin America than they work in Asia, or how retail industries work in Australia versus Canada, in example. So it's hard, it's tricky. The nice things that we have, what I've seen in Microsoft, and again, I'm just been here for a year and a half or something like this, is that We are super open right now. We are super to changes. We are super prepared. We try to be prepared to change stuff. So trying to connect everywhere, try to solve the problem, it's hard. It's super hard. But at the same time, there is a global effort to see what we can do to solve these problems. And hey, silly story there. Not silly, but kind of like this. My wife has complicated surgery on November the 4th. Then because she was diagnosed with cancer, so she need to be removed. It happened everything so fast, and it was super fast, super fast. I mean, we went to the doctor for a standard checkup. 2 weeks later, we were in the hospital. 10 days there, and it was crazy. At that moment, because we live in all around the globe and we have friends all around the globe, I had a lot of people, really, a lot of people sending us best wishes, asking how we're doing, asking how we can help, these kind of things. And I spent a lot of time, really a lot of time in the hospital, sitting by my wife. She was resting in the bed and I was with my phone, answering message, copy and paste, copy and paste. There was a moment that I said, okay, that's it. I am super lazy. I don't like to copy and paste. I am going to build, I am going to do something. So I decided, okay, I'm going to build a website, kind of a private website, share it with my friends and family, and they can start to look at stuff there. But I didn't build the website. As a developer, my initial instinct was to, okay, open code and start to create using React or something, a website to do this. But we got a tool, which is called the Power Pages, a tool in the Power Platform, which basically allows us to create this solution without code. And in 5 minutes, I create a portal and I put some of the info there and I share this portal URL with my friends and family. And then because my wife also wants to create stuff, I create an automation that when we send an email with text and a photo to a specific email address, this content is going to be added in the top of the portal. So it's kind of a blog when you are going to see the latest entrance there. It was kind of nice, but hey, at the same time, because we have friends all around the globe, I want to share with my friends and family that there is something new to get there. And because in Latin America, they use a lot of WhatsApp. In Europe, they use a lot of Facebook Messenger. Here in North America, it's a mix of Messenger and other stuff. So I use another automation to basically, when we have something new, notify here and there people using those channels. And the last part was, hey, I have friends in Germany, French, Brazil, Argentina, speaking English, Portuguese, French, German, whatever. So I did some auto translate. So depending on where you are joining, you are going to see the news and the photos in your language. And it was fun. It was something that we did together. She was resting. It was a hard 10 days at the hospital. But at the end of the day, I went back to say, okay, this is Microsoft vision and a statement. Power every person and every organization in the world to become more productive, to become a better one. And hey, I was dealing with super hard time at the hospital, and I was super lucky that because I know a little about this tool, I have time to create this, connect with hundreds of people all around the globe who wanted to know more about this. And that's a nice memory. So it's hard to help everyone, but I can only tell on my personal side how Microsoft helped me. And I really hope that we can find similar stories also in the business side, not in the personal side, where we help people, because it's just about to see what you can do. So for me, if you ask me how in the non-Microsoft side, Microsoft helped me, I can tell that story, which I know it's a sad story. Cancer and everything else is probably the only bad word that I say when I say F cancer. I don't swear a lot, but I say that from time to time. But hey, it helped me, it helped us as a family to connect globally with low effort and to have a good experience. And by the way, I really hope I don't need to go back to the hospital again. But I didn't complete the loop to have feedback. If we were in the hospital a couple of more days, I will probably add in this space that we created some feedback loop where people can replay to us. Right now, it was just a sharing information kind of website. But hey, it was kind of fun to know and super useful.
And what excites you? What excites you to wake up in the morning, go and do cloud advocate job?
It's probably depending on the week or even the day. But for me, in the last couple of months, it was mostly to see two things. One is how do we measure that if we are really helping people? Because sometimes we have this feeling that we are doing a lot of stuff, a lot of events, a lot of community events, a lot of sessions, a lot of here and there, but it's hard to tell if we are really helping someone. It's hard to tell if we are really adding some value in that spaces. And so I spend a decent amount of time trying to figure out how to really find the spaces where we can help. And the other one is to choose our battles. I really want to do a lot of stuff. I really want to do serious and talk with very smart people about doing machine learning in Python or doing low code with Power Platform or doing machine embedding IoT stuff with Rust and C++. But I don't have time. So I need to choose my battles. So I need to choose my 3 month or 8 month strategy, depending on the places of the year, and go there. And I spend really a decent amount of time thinking of an example, what I am going to focus in April. I have some directions, I have some global guidelines, but we also have the chance to say, okay, that's great, but in Canada, we don't do this, we are going to do that. So spend trying to figure out the best way to help communities is probably keep me when I start my day, start to figure out, okay, this we are going to do this, but it makes sense, it not make sense, what else we can do. And the way that I try to solve this thinking is asking people, asking questions, asking, hey, what do you think about this? Do you think, do you want to do this? Do you think it makes sense? It makes no sense. What else do you want? What else do you have any idea how to do this kind of thing? So talking and solving, talking with people is probably the best way to do this, but that's probably what keep me thinking during the day and in the morning is, okay, what we can do to really help communities.
And talking with computers, being a programmer, and being a guy who is into coding is common everywhere on the planet. But coming from South America, coming from Argentina, so your English is so good.
Thanks.
So what you did to make it good?
Hey, I in Argentina we didn't have everything. Every movie, every foreign movie have subtitles. So there are only a few couple of movies that was translated in the audio to Spanish. So I watch a lot of TVs and movies in English. And when I moved to Spain, that's when I really improved my English level because I started to work in Germany and someone said, okay, who wants to travel here and there? And I raised my hand and say yes. And I went there. You learn because you need to eat. You get to the airport. You need to find your stuff. Somehow they lost your suitcase and your baggage. So you need to figure out how to ask people. So you go and start to talk. It practicing. I will probably suggest to people if they have the chance to join some English meetups group or something like this. Then I joined a couple of them where we basically talk and try to improve. Everything was free. Everything was kind of community guided. But I spent a lot of time just talking because at the end of the day, I realized that I can speak a lot. I can speak good, decent English in the technical side, but if I need to talk about what happened on the weekend with my kids or my hobbies or whatever, I need to learn more. So I started to join communities which are not technical but are focused on improve your English level, and that's helped me a lot, really, really a lot.
Do you find difficulty in doing the cloud advocate role?
No, no, and I spent a couple of seconds thinking there because advocacy in general is it's kind of a very loose term. There is a lot of people doing different type of advocacies. There are great writers who write and create a lot of amazing content. There are great speakers who go and do great presentations. There are people who are helping working side by side with communities, creating communities, supporting communities. There are people who do all of that stuff and more. So advocacy, it's a super huge field where people do a lot of stuff. But I find that if you like it and you find your right space, it's not a hard job. It's a job that you like. And I don't want to go to the typical, if you like your job, you're not going to work any day in your life. I mean, you're still working. I'm still working. It's, you need to do your hours, but it's a rewarding job because there is something else there. So not for me, cloud advocacy, I will say is not hard because I enjoy it a lot. But on the other side, don't get me wrong, there is a lot of stuff to do there, and there is a lot of upsides and downsides also, like any job, I think, in the world, where you're going to be super happy, but then you're going to say, oh my God, I need to do this again. Okay, no problem. Put a smile, some music, and finish your day, finish your job. So not hard, but it's not like a developer who only codes, which is also not like this. It's much more complex, but advocacy has a lot of different ways that you can do advocacy. And for me, it's not hard because I like it, but I'm sure that there are people who are, they may have different view.
And what kind of problems you hear?
That I just mentioned one. It's hard to measure. In example, you can do a lot of stuff. I don't know. You can write amazing technical blog post and have thousands, millions of views of your content, and that's great, and that's a great metric. But are you really helping someone? Are you, in our case, that we want to help people to get the best of Azure, our cloud in Microsoft? Are we really driving people to use the best of Azure? Or maybe we are not helping them, where maybe we are showing them one way to do one way to solve the problem, but it's not the best way for them. So that's something that we hear a lot in advocacy, that metrics are super, super complicated because and it goes back at the beginning of our conversation. We work with people. So measure people activities, it's much more complicated than measure your unit test. You have 2,000 unit tests, you run your test, and you're going to have 95% of tests fine, but somehow 5% of the tests failed. Okay, let's solve this. Doing that with human, oh my God, that's impossible. There is no unit test for humans. There is no metrics there. So for me, and I think a lot of advocates may agree with this, the metrics, the way that we measure the value that we are doing with communities and the product teams and everyone else, it's probably the hardest problem that we hear here, that we all deal with this.
And you are 14 times plus Microsoft most valuable professional. So how is that?
Hey, that was an amazing memory. That's what when I joined Microsoft, I need to give away my MVPs because when you join Microsoft, you are not an MVP anymore. I was kind of sad. I mean, it was 14 years, started in Spain, continue here in Canada. I meet a lot of amazing people. I have the chance to work with great professionals. I meet a lot of great people in the product team, in the Microsoft product team, because when you are an MVP, you have access to the product team besides, I don't know, the team who create Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code, or the team who creates all of the tools in DevOps. So you can chat with them. You can give them your point of view. They are going to give you feedback. They ask your feedback. So it was a great experience. For me, it was amazing. It also allows me to travel a lot, to meet a lot of people. There are MVPs all around the globe. And I really, I have an amazing memory for those days. It was great.
And it shows your curiosity towards technology, and it shows you're very passionate in learning technology.
Yes, basically, if I see my MVP career, it's not a career, but I was lucky to get the recognition all of this year in a row. It changed. I started the programmer, moved to the DevOps sides, then at the end it was a machine learning. So myself, I was even changing. I didn't start coding and did coding all my life. I started coding and then started to do other stuff on top of coding. And yes, the MVPs awards show how I change every year from year to year. And it was kind of nice also that to be recognized in these different categories because they also show that, hey, we value that work that you are doing. In example, the last 5 years in the artificial intelligence category, where I did a lot of Azure Cognitive Services, a lot of coding in the cloud for machine learning. And it was kind of nice. And as I said, the MVP program is an amazing program. I have only the best word to do this. And I am to all of this team. And I am super lucky because I am working internally with the MVP team right now, which is kind of amazing. I have the chance to also work with these people who are great.
And you saw the tools that are helping human beings in and which has their own purpose. And now you came to a certain stage. I want you to tell where you are right now, uh, uh, and what kind of tools that you want to understand that should be created in order to help more people in the world.
Oh, I am not an expert on that time. I mean, I really believe that small things can add a lot of value. And I really believe that if we start to improve our tools to support people, in example, with some kind of disability, we're going to help them. And we don't know sometimes how many of these things we already have and we don't care about them. And we can really change the life of people with some kind of disability or problem. So I always like to tell about an example. If we use PowerPoint, which I know people like it, people don't like it, but most of the people know PowerPoint to create a slide, to create presentations. When you add an image to PowerPoint, like you usually do on Twitter or you do on, if you are doing an HTML page, you have the chance to add to the PowerPoint presentation a description. Because it's someone with some kind of visual challenge is going to read a PDF export of your slides, this person is not going to be able to see the picture, but they might be able to read the description. So we encourage people to do this. And this is a feature that exists in PowerPoint for the last, I don't know, several years. And if you don't add the description, there is an AI service in the back. There is a machine learning, a computer vision service in the back that you can ask because I don't want to write a description for this picture, but we can use a computer vision and service in the back that's going to post the image, analyze the image, get back the description, and it's going to say, hey, I think that in this photo, there is a person walking in the dog in a park in a sunny day. So we didn't even need to do this. We can automate this. I mean, like any computer vision software is going to work great, 99.99% time. It's going to work great most of the time, but sometimes you need to tweak this. But doing these kind of things is going to help people. So I believe that if we spend this time doing this, taking advantage of this, we are going to help people who have some kind of disability. And there are so many examples of this. I try to do in my tweets every time that I do a photo, and sometimes I forget, but I try to do all the time. I spend an extra 5 seconds, extra 20 seconds, and I add the description. Because as I said, I believe that someone who has some problems and visual impediments are going to read that. I'm going to basically save them the problem to not understand the context. And it took me 20 seconds. We have tools to do this. We have several tools, and sometimes I have the feeling that people don't know these tools. There are tools also in the Office space, in the Microsoft Office space, where you are planning to send an email or creating a document or creating a PowerPoint, is going to analyze the accessibility of your document and is going to say, you know what? This background and this background color and this foreground color, the contrast between them is not very good. So people who have specific eyes or visual problems are not going to be able to read this. Change it. The suggestion is change this gray for white and this black for dark blue or whatever. I don't know. I'm not an expert there. But hey, it's literally spending a little amount of time here and there, and we can do more and more. If people want to do more, you can go to microsoft.com/AI, and there is a section AI for Good there that describes all of the initiatives that we in Microsoft are globally doing to support, to help animal species that are endangered, to support and get better products around accessibility. And all of these things, Microsoft.com/AI, AI for Good is an amazing, amazing experience. It's an amazing place to start to note everything that we are doing. I'm not an expert, I'm just a user, so I can tell this little one which I use to try to help here and there. But again, Microsoft.com/AI, the entry point for all of this stuff.
And you have connectivity with 3 different countries. And what is the user experience that you observed in these 3 countries for the technology services that you worked for?
Great question. I mean, right now, today, I think the cloud and the general concept of the cloud, not only Azure, also the other providers, kind of leveled the access to products and to capabilities that all of these countries have. As I said, I came from Latin America, kind of a third world countries where everything is a little different. But today you can, if you have internet connectivity, a good internet connectivity, and lucky a medium decent internet connectivity is still a good one, you can create your products using cloud in anywhere in the world and have access to the same products, access to the same capabilities. I mean, the Azure Static Web Apps is the same for people in Latin America, in Europe, and in North America, which is the main 3 places where I interact. So having access to these kind of services is basically level the balance. So if you have a great idea and you live in a place that you don't have a lot of possibilities, like the place that I was born and raised, you are going to be able that if you can use these kind of things, you are going to be able to use them to get the best and to have kind of the same opportunities someone growing up in, I don't know, in a better country or whatever. And I really like that. I really like this because it gives you the chance, it gives everyone the chance to get the best of this product, of these tools. And I'm not talking about just Microsoft. I think all of the global cloud providers do the same. So I really like that because is the moment that everybody around the globe have the chance to do their best. And in example, if you are a student and you are starting and you want to do something with Azure Cloud, we have Azure for Students, where you can go there and you have, can't remember how much credit in Azure for free. You have GitHub Copilot that we just talked also for free. You have there is a pack also in GitHub for Students, I think it's called, which is amazing. So there are a lot of things that you can try and test, and it won't matter where you are living, where you are joining, where you can use this tool anywhere in the world and get the best of your ideas. So I really, really like that because when I started, it was kind of different. So I really like that today is the level is kind of the same for everywhere, all around the globe. That said, you need a good internet connectivity. That's probably the only thing that you need.
And Microsoft is a technology company which is the intention of Microsoft is to reduce the human effort and energy and solve problems in less time. And if we see, it took long time for Microsoft to for the evolution, but once the cloud taken place and started solving the problems, it didn't took much time to for ChatGPT to come. So if you see cloud, when the cloud came in Microsoft and ChatGPT came, so the time is very less in understanding human problems and solving problems, human problems with the technology. So what is next after ChatGPT, and when it is?
I don't know when. I hope it's soon, but I don't know. But hey, ChatGPT, I don't know if it's the best product doing the stuff that it's doing, which is basically going back a little. ChatGPT is using GPT 3.5, which is a very specific trained model, a large language model, which basically works trying to connect words and give you the best sentence for that. It's much more complicated, but this is what they are doing. I think the success for ChatGPT is because OpenAI were the first one who were brave enough to put something that is going to fail in the street. And I may assume that Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, when they started to do these kind of things, and they work a lot with us in Microsoft also, they say, okay, let's go put this in the cloud. I think it was November last year, not a long time ago. Let's put this open to everyone and let's see what's happened. Worst case scenario, we shoot it down and it's going to be a joke in a couple of years. That's happened, by the way, that's happened to Microsoft on 2016, I think, when we released a bot in Twitter that learning from Twitter responses, and after one day it becomes crazy. It was, we need to shut this down. Another story. But somehow ChatGPT make it. Somehow ChatGPT was hot. Somehow people were starting to really join talking, and I will chatting and I will quote talking with ChatGPT, and because super extra amazingly popular. Now we have Bing Chat. We use the same technologies, improved technologies than GPT for specific search. But the big players, not only Microsoft and OpenAI, Google, Facebook, and the others, they have their own products. Google has BART. It's not public yet, but at some time in the future, we don't know when, we are going to have a similar experience searching with Google. And Facebook have some massive, literally massive models that they use for other things. So right now, a lot of people is expecting that GPT-4, which is kind of the next version of these Transformers models, are going to change everything. But I think that it's not going to be around the next big model anymore. It's going to be the next big model and a very smart implementation, like we see with ChatGPT. ChatGPT, it wasn't new. It was just a facade. It was just a chat interface with the model that we know, which was the GPT 3.5. And they make it really easy to use. If you take a look at the interface of ChatGPT, it's chat with sessions, and that's it. By the way, it's down 80% of the time or so because everybody's using globally. But I think that in the future, we are not going to see, I mean, of course, we are going to see super smart people creating amazing breakthrough AI models, but I think the next big ones are going to be around products that use those models, products that really help you. I don't know. In the last 2 months, I have a list here, probably over 1,000 new AI products. A lot of, okay, this tool is going to help you to write more blog posts, or this or that, or this or that. They are all using the same AI models in the back. But for me, the next one is not going to be around the next big model, but it's going to be, oh, this is a super cool application that use one or more AI models in the back. When? I don't know, but 2023 is going to be an interesting year, that's for sure.
And one last question. Uh, Elon Musk intention to come and create Twitter is to give access or give 100% freedom to every human being in order to share their thoughts or experiences or feelings. So security, when he said this, security was the first thing that was main thing for the Twitter. So also when it comes to cloud that you're working for, security is controlled by human being. We are giving security rules or adding rules in order to control things. But when it comes to OpenAI, like ChatGPT, so this is going to be very typical when it comes to security.
Yes, there are a couple of things there. One is, of course, secure communications. I think we may assume that everything happened right now will be secure. So if I am using ChatGPT here, the data transmission from here to the cloud servers going back and forward will be secure. We also have a layer of security that's what's happening with my data. I am asking something, I am sharing something with that to models like ChatGPT or whatever, and they are using my data to train the model to become the better model. And there is another layer, a third one, which is okay, which data are these big companies using to train those models? And if an example, if they are using my data, did I at any moment I say yes, use it, or I didn't even grant a space there? There going to be a lot of changes here and there around these kind of things. I think we are going to see a lot of new set of legislations, a new set of laws that I hope they are going to help both sides, the creators and the people who are training those models, because right now it's kind of hard. And hey, you just mentioned Twitter. Twitter, it's super popular platform, probably still the big one. Even you like it or not like it, it's there and it works great. But last week, I think it was last week when they announced that they are going to not use the two-factor authentication using SMS text messages anymore. And I said, why? You want to have your users secure. You want to give everyone the chance to have the two-factor authentication, because basically it's going to be harder for someone to store an account. And I started to read, because it didn't make sense. I started to read, and it seems that only a very, very, very few set of people in the whole billions of Twitter users that are probably there, only a couple of thousands are using text. So there is no business model to support this there. If you want to use it and you want a two-factor authentication, install Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, or one of the other authenticator mobile apps that are there, and use them. But that's an example where security is a concern, where security is a topic, but a business decision decide to move in a different direction. I really hope that we don't make a bad decision like that one, which I still think is a bad decision. I still think that even if you have 5 people using text, you need to support those 5 users. That's a longer conversation, but I really hope that in the future, and it's not going to be me, it's going to be people who are much more intelligent and work in those areas, but when we need to face those decisions, we choose the best one. We choose the one that really put the human and the user first before money and other kind of things. We also know that is not always the case.
So before ending, what do you say about my questioning in this conversation?
Hey, I really like it. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, so I will say thanks for inviting me. I really like the flow. Also, time flies. I don't know. It really went fast. Looking forward, as I said, let's set up a meeting in the near future, or I don't know, 1 year or something like this, and let's see. You remember that we talk about ABCs? What's happened here, here, here? Do we have something new to talk about security? And yes, we have this problem here or this amazing advance here. We talk about new products. Hey, what is new today? Yes, we talk about this and that. So I really like it. I really, really like it. Looking forward for the next one.
And I did masters in software engineering. Right now, I'm getting trained as a cloud DevOps engineer role. So how this experience? Have you seen any videos of mine on YouTube? I took more than 500 plus technology experts interviews around the world. More than 100 plus country people are there on my channel. So how this conversation with experts like you who are already in the industry and for solving problems, who solve problems, who are handling different projects, talking with experts like you, how this experience is going to be helpful for me if I come and work as a DevOps engineer or further roles in IT.
Okay, this is going to be also, you're going to edit this and you're going to put this on there. Probably not quote me what I'm going to say. I will really appreciate if you don't add this to the video. You are doing, for me, and this is Bruno speaking, not Microsoft, not speaking, you are doing something great. You are putting your brand there. You are putting your name there. When I see your channel and I start to see people who you interview, some Amazon people, some other companies people, I think that's a very, very smart move because you are building your brand. You are building your name. When someone starts to search you, is going to say, hey, no, take a look here. I speak with this person or this other person. That's an amazing move. I really think that this type of activities, I think and I hope that is going to help you a lot because we live in a connected world. And when we do these kind of things, you are building your brand. It's for me, if I want to work with someone and I see this couple of things, for me is a check, an extra check. Oh, I like it. Oh. So kudos to you. If I can do something else to help, I will do it, but keep doing this. Let me know if you need me to introduce someone or if you see I know someone and you want me to do the intro, I will be happy because I believe, and again, this is Bruno, this is not sure for this, I believe that these kind of things really help you. In my experience, everything that I did with as an MVP, activities like this, really helped me to get my job at Microsoft, an example. But there is no formula there. So I will continue this path, that's for sure. I like your style, I like your questions. It was super natural, it flowed great. And I really hope that it's helped you. I'm sure that it's going to help you. So you have my help if you need anything else because this helps a lot.
Your words are very valuable for me because you're into technology for a long time and you have a huge years of experience. So at last, can I put this video on my YouTube channel with your permission?
Yes, perfect.
Yeah. And also, can I put this video and audio clip on my podcast, website, internet, social media, everywhere with your permission?
Yes, sure. And once you publish and everything, let me know. And I will be happy to help with the promotion. Make a blog post here, let's tweet here, mention this in one of the streams that we have at Microsoft or whatever. Yes, I will be happy to help also there.
Thank you, sir. Again, you're very inspirational, and also even if one person changes and learns from you, it will be a very good contribution to the technology world.
Oh no, thanks to you for inviting me and thanks for the kind words.
Thank you again.
Okay, say, I need to leave. I need to prepare something for my day. And again, let me know what else I can do to help. It's a pleasure to meet you, really a pleasure to meet you, and see you on next one.
Thank you, sir. Again, thank you.
Bye.